Hello, everyone. If you can hear us, just leave a comment below. And I'll check if we're broadcasting live. I'm super excited to have some amazing guests on today. And Drew and Adam will take it from here, and I'll be here for any technical issues that you guys may have. But I'm excited to have Kevin, Drew, and Adam on board.
Great to be here, guys.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Pitch the World. This is episode 1. My name is Adam Kemper. I have with me Andrew Rousseau and Kevin Harrington, the original shark from Shark Tank. Today is the very first episode, so I just want to introduce the program, introduce myself, have Andrew do the same, and then go through a couple of questions with Kevin. We know he's a busy guy, so we're happy to have him. We're happy to share some of his thoughts with us today. So Pitch the World is it's going to be a podcast that's going to be done live on Facebook, and it's also going to be recorded. And the goal with Pitch the World is to really add some value in the world of business, in the world of law. Both Andrew and myself are lawyers, in the world of tech, and to just really provide some insights to businesses, both looking to perhaps pitch on the Pitchinvestorslive platform, businesses that are thinking about it, investors, just anybody that's interested in any of the topics that I just mentioned. And we're an arm of Pitchinvestorslive, so you're going to hear a lot of references to it on Pitch the World. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the Pitchinvestorslive app, I encourage you to do so. It's live in the Apple Store to download, and you can also get it as a progressive web app. Kevin Harrington has been an incredible investor and advisor to the project. You'll get to see some of his pitches if you go to the YouTube page and just kind of see, the types of businesses that are pitched on the Pitchinvestorslive platform. So we're so happy to have him with us today. Just a quick background about me, and we'll get to Kevin very shortly. My name is Adam Kemper, and I'm an attorney with a law firm called Greenspoon Martyr LLP. It's a full-service law firm with offices throughout the country. And I practice in our firm's labor and employment division, where I help companies with workplace compliance, from hiring to firing to everything in between. My goal is to keep my companies out of court, out of litigation, ensure that they stay out of trouble with regulators. And over the last 1.5 to 2 years, I began to get into the fintech space to help companies with compliance. Pitchinvestorslive is actually one of the first projects that I began working with in the fintech space, and I'm actually very close friends with one of the original founders, and he's going to be featured on our show in a couple of episodes. So that's a little bit about my background, and I just want to kind of transition to Andrew. If Andrew, you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, first off, Kevin, great to see you. Thank you for being on with us today.
You bet.
As I said, I'm a millennial attorney, and what does that mean today? As Adam had mentioned, we're in an age with law and technology, and the way we all do business together has changed. The ways we pitches and speak with entrepreneurs such as yourself has changed, and we need to learn how to become more efficient. So, as a sole practitioner, I have harmonized not only a criminal defense practice, internet law practice that focuses on our digital age. How do we use social media to our benefit? How do we use it the right way and not the wrong way? And, I've had the ability to meet a wide variety of clients and work with a lot of wonderful individuals. It's been enlightening. And, there's always something we all can learn from one another. And through this process, it's taken me into more of the fintech space, as Adam had also indicated for himself, and got into blockchain a bit and understanding how that type of technology can help facilitate transactions in businesses while adding in digital monies. So I'm excited to be here, and I look forward to everything we can do here at Pitch the World.
Excellent, excellent. So next week we have Kevin Harrington. And if you don't know Kevin Harrington, allow me to pick up the rock that you've been under your whole life, because he is just the man. He is an original shark from Shark Tank, and he's the inventor of the infomercial. He's taken more pitches in business than Mike Piazza has done in baseball. So he's just an incredible resource for us. We're so proud to have him on the Pitch Investors Live team as an investor. Just someone with so much knowledge of business. And from my personal experience with Kevin, the man literally fills his day, every minute of it. It's truly incredible that, what he does with his time. And I mean, Kevin, I think you can agree that that's just a testament to your passion about business and entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Adam. Yeah, I after spending 35 years in this in the as seen on TV business, and I was taking pitches constantly, through that whole process for many, many years. The houseware show, the hardware show, the fitness show, the beauty show, golf, toys, whatever. I learned, that you need to be able to put people into these 2 to 3 minute little blocks, because often people say, if I could just get an hour with you, it'd be amazing. Well, there's 10,000 people that would like to spend an hour pitching something, right? So you do the math, and you're not going to be able to go to sleep ever. So, I have had a great time. When I met Mark Burnett, he said, hey, people are going to come out, they get 3 minutes to pitch, and you get 3 minutes to make up your mind whether you want to invest. So my life is broken down into these little 3 minute segments. Okay. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun. And I just, every day is a new day. Today I'm sitting in Seattle at Microsoft's headquarters in Redmond, and got a big event going on here. And tomorrow I'll be in LA, the next day, San Diego. And yeah, every day is a great day. And I love being able to pitch the world. As we're talking about here today, to allow people to pitch the world, to come on to the app. It's when I first heard about Pitch Investors Live, I said, this is the first time anybody can actually come on the platform. And unlike Shark Tank, where they get 50, 60,000, 100,000 people that come in, and somebody picks 200. Here on Pitch the World, Pitch Investors Live, we're giving everybody access to be able to come in and talk to investors. So it's a really great concept. I love it. And thanks for having me today.
Awesome. Well, that kind of ties into one of my questions. Drew, if you don't mind, I'm going to skip over yours, but you can come next.
Absolutely.
Can you just kind of take us through briefly your involvement with Pitch Investors Live? I know you've been with the group for over a year now, but can you just tell us a little bit of what your knowledge is sort of behind the scenes, and also the process of taking a pitch from your phone or anywhere?
So exactly. Thanks, Adam. It's really, when I first heard about it, I thought this sounds great, but let me check out the tech side, right? So because I get so many people coming in with an idea. Many of them, it's on a napkin, or it's in development, or they've raised a bunch of money, spend it all, still need another 150 to finish off the app or something, right? Doesn't work, no proof of concept, et cetera, et cetera. So when I first experienced Pitch Investors Live, it was amazing, because I was able to literally just log in and accept somebody, and boom, there we were side by side on Pitch Investors Live taking a pitch. And I said, the beauty of this is the people pitching can be anywhere in the world. They don't have to fly to Los Angeles or fly to where I am, wherever that might be, but they can be anywhere in the world, and I can be anywhere in the world. So right. Because I spend 2.5 to 3 weeks on the road. And so if I can do it from a hotel room or from a Microsoft office or wherever it might be, what an amazing concept. And then not only that, but I know we've had at least one deal where it wasn't that I was getting pitched. We're live to the universe, right? So
I know which one you're talking about too.
Ended up investing. So that's the beauty. I mean, think about this. Never if you go on Shark Tank, is anybody other than those 5 sharks sitting there able to invest? So Pitch Investors Live makes it much easier for people to pitch, for investors to get the pitch, and now for other investors to hear the pitch and also be interested. So it's a win-win-win all the way across the board.
And following up to that, Kevin, you said that, with this platform, you have the ability to hear a pitch from beginning to end, and the viewers, the audience, has the ability to see a pitch from beginning to end, kind of exposure, at least full exposure, with shows like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, because there are stuff that goes on behind the scenes, and you do have to tailor it for television. But here, it seems like you really do get a full, realistic idea of, and it's wonderful. So I guess, starting back in the early years, let's rewind a little bit. 50,000 pitches now and growing. Did you see yourself years back where you see yourself now? Or did you have a different vision of where you thought you may be?
Well, so what's interesting, when I would, travel the circuit to the trade shows, I would go to the houseware show and we would say, hey, we're going to be taking pitches. We put the release out, and 100, 200, 300 people, would show. Sometimes we get as many as 1,000 people would actually show up. But how many pitches, even if you limit them to 3 minutes, how many can you take in a day? I think the most I ever did in one day, we were shooting for 100. I think I got to 97 before I just couldn't go anymore, right? So do the math, 97 times 3 to 5 minutes, that's a full day, right? So, but the bottom line is I started saying to those that didn't get to pitch me, I'm like, hey, look, put it on video, send it to me, and I'll review it on an airplane and get you some comments back. So that maybe was a transitional element that said, yes, you don't necessarily have to be in front of the investor face to face. I mean, it's better if you are. I like it on a face-to-face level because I can when I ask a question, I can see the mannerisms and how they answer it, and the inflections and the excitement, and I like to see the gleam in their eye also, because that gives me an indication of how excited they are as an entrepreneur. But yeah, I think I think it as the founders and partners of Pitch Investors Live figured out, that to be able to do this live on an app, it was meant to be. And the first group to do it was going to be in an amazing position to be able to capitalize on a global aspect. Because let me say this, one of the reasons why I travel a lot, this week I'm in the US, next week I'll be in Stockholm, Zurich, and Frankfurt. The week after I'll be in Singapore, and a couple of weeks after, Singapore and Hong Kong, and possibly shoot down to Bombay, India, Mumbai, right? So and I'm taking pitches in all of these markets, but the bottom line is I don't have to physically be there if I can do it live on an app. So it's an amazing concept whose time has come.
And I think you said it best. I mean, Pitch Investors Live really gives people that ordinarily would not have the opportunity to pitch someone like yourself now that opportunity. It reduces so many barriers. And for someone like an investor to be able to just pick up their smartphone from anywhere that they're traveling, anywhere in the world, and take a pitch. I mean, convenience is the key word here, but also opportunity. I mean, you're giving so many opportunities to so many entrepreneurs, so many startups, so many businesses to get on a platform like Pitch Investors Live and pitch to an investor. It's truly revolutionary, and I certainly look forward to seeing more pitches as they come on in the near future.
Did you say we've gotten over 50,000 so far?
Not pitches. No, not pitches.
Oh, I don't know where that. I heard a number, so I know we talked about Shark Tank getting 50,000 pitches a year, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Soon.
Yeah. Good.
Soon. But as part of your experience, I mean, I think you've already answered, your favorite parts about pitch. Can you just tell us maybe some of your pet peeves or some of the issues that you've encountered where entrepreneurs either aren't ready, maybe don't really have a plan and sort of expect you to give them the business plan, or they don't know what they want. Can you just tell us about a couple of experiences like that?
So there's a couple of pet peeves that I have. One is that people generally don't really understand how to value their business. I mean, the very first segment, the very first week that I was taping Shark Tank, a guy wanted $1 million for 15% of his company. He had no sales, was not going to be in a commerce mode for years. He had a patent. Okay. So how do I mean, is a patent worth $7 or $8 million? And, I mean, give me a break, right? So valuation is one of the key things, understanding the risk in startups, right? Secondly, then so now if I say to somebody, I'll go to another deal, hey, I want $100,000 for 10% of my company. That's the valuation is more attractive there, obviously. But how are you going to use the money? And then they give me a use of proceeds, and they don't have any money budgeted for marketing or customer acquisition. Well, I'm like, well, okay, so how are you going to get the customers? Oh, well, you're the shark. You're going to do that, aren't you? Right? It's like, no, I'm investing in you. You've got to do it all. Okay. I'm not, I mean, I had one of my worst deals of Shark Tank was somebody that actually I ended up with a 50% equity in the company. They actually expected me to do 50% of the work, like physically be there on a monthly basis, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, no, that's not, how this works. I'm an investor. Right. You got to run the business, right? Oh, well, geez, you got half my company now. I thought you'd be coming to our grand openings and our trade shows and our this and our that. So no, I want to see a marketing plan. And then one of the worst pet peeves is, oh, well, I'm in the hair care industry. It's a $10 billion industry. If we only get 5% of the market, we're going to be 500 million, right? So, but that, 5% of 10 billion, let's do the math, right? But there's nothing that relates. There's no relation to 5% versus what is your marketing plan to go get that 5%, right? So I like a big marketplace, and I like an opportunity that has a unique proposition, but just because of those things doesn't mean you're automatically going to build a business. You have to have a marketing plan with customer acquisition and lifetime value of the customer in mind, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of mistakes investors make when they make a pitch, for sure.
Now, what about age, Kevin? We're in this digital age where e-commerce and online businesses, everybody wants to do it in their own way. We all have different visions and ideas. Does it stop you from taking a pitch, or I guess taking a pitch more seriously than the other? Or are we still talking about, look, you have your marketing plan, you have your ideas. If you know how to answer my ask, you're no different than anybody else I'm talking to.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's age. I think we tend to get millennial pitches a lot here because this seems to be, when you're dealing with mobile apps and pitching, I think there tends to be a skew towards the younger population, millennials and younger even. But for me, because I truly look at, I like experience. I like, sometimes you like a couple of gray hairs there, and I don't mean that it has to be gray hair, but it's just someone that's got, maybe they've had an exit on another deal already. Somebody that's got a little bit of experience. Because those are the people that understand what it takes to raise money, build the business, and exit that business. So I'm actually open across the board. If somebody is older, I don't say, that they're not going to be right for me. I'm open to the idea, the uniqueness of the idea, and putting the people in place to help take it to the next level. But I think, just kind of getting back to it, we probably skew a little younger, but I'm open to any age level.
Sure.
And I've had pitches from people in their 90s before. And so, the question there, how long will they be around to run the business? Well, that might be an issue, but if it's a great idea, we still can make it happen.
Well, maybe the tech is out
Absolutely.
there to allow people to live to 125, 150.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
That remains to be seen. But
Do you have a favorite
go ahead.
pitch
Go ahead.
at all? I'm sorry, Adam.
Well,
Kevin,
so
do you have a favorite pitch?
one of my favorite pitches from, and I'll go back to Shark Tank because it was a pretty powerful segment. A woman came out and it was, I'll tell you why it was my favorite, because it's kind of a crazy product. It ended up, it was a cat toilet training product called City Kitty. And it was the kind of thing, if you ever saw the movie Meet the Fockers with Robert De Niro, they had a cat jump on the toilet, go to the bathroom, get off the toilet. It was funny. And so I envisioned the reason it was a great pitch is because it was a money-saving product. Get rid of your litter box. So it saved you money. It was healthier. You didn't have the dirty litter all over. It was also good for the environment because litter is, clogs up all the eco kind of worlds out there. So it had many positive things. But the main thing that I loved about it was the woman had traction. She knew how to take viral videos and make them work. And when you think about Dollar Shave Club and some of these businesses that have taken off, they use viral videos, Squatty Potty, etc. So City Kitty was a viral opportunity. It took off. We used the internet. We got great distribution. We got it on the Today Show, Good Morning America, the Wall Street Journal. People love talking about training a cat to jump on a toilet. So it got spoofed in a lot of the late night shows. And so, yeah, I look for different things. And that was something that did very, very well in sales, profits, etc. And it was a powerful little segment on Shark Tank, and it's one of the most successful products that ever went on Shark Tank.
Hey, look, I'm a cat dad. I love that. I have that. So believe me, it's one of my favorites too.
Nice.
So I just want to shift gears a little bit. You kind of mentioned a piece about, the IP and like sort of getting into the value of a business, startup, entrepreneur, having some sort of legal foundation and a legal team to help support the business. Both Andrew and I are lawyers. We do different things, but also we have entrepreneurial mindsets and we work with businesses. And certainly a lot of what we do is we help businesses remain in compliance and, help them get the IP that they need for their product. So if you could just kind of touch on, the value of legal for a business and some questions that investors look for in terms of a company's legal compliance.
Yes, very good question. So the legal side of every deal is where it all starts for me, because and I'm not going to say that without a patent we don't go forward. We don't necessarily need a patent, but if there is one that's can be better, or if it's patent pending, if there's if the lawyers feel very good about the possibility of it issuing, that can be good too, because today what's happening in the market, there's many, like let's take Amazon. I've got a product that it's called Peeps, Peeps. It's an eyeglass cleaner, and we put it on Amazon. It started crushing it, and then what happened? We got the knockoffs. So we had to take our trademarks, all of the IP that we had, and then work with Amazon to get these others shut down, because they were selling our product at half the price, and it was very shoddy manufacturing. And in fact, the knockoffs were using our actual name, so illegal, but they're in China, so we can't go after them in China, but Amazon can shut them down. So we look for things that are going to be protectable across the board, because if we're successful, we will get knocked off. And again, we didn't even have a necessary patent on that particular product, but we did have certain IP and trademarks. So, but to make a long story short, we'd love to know about this on the front end. I mean, I'll never forget the segment. O'Leary bought into Mr. Wonderful, right? He bought into a molding clay, like a Play-Doh kind of a product that was gluten-free. And the gentleman said, I have a patent on this. And O'Leary said, so in other words, you can stop anybody else from creating a gluten-free molding clay. And he absolutely. And so what he had was a provisional patent that was only good for a year. And before the segment was over, somebody that was there in the studio was Googling around and found these gluten-free products already out in the marketplace, already in retail stores, already in Walmart, etc. So the deal was over because the guy said, I can stop anybody, but he didn't even know that there was several products already doing what he claimed to have IP on, which he didn't have IP. So it's important. A lot of people that pitch are unsophisticated in their overall business, and it's important that if we're going to put money in, we need to know where that money's going and what assets are we actually investing in. So yes, having the right dream team, trademark lawyers, patent lawyers, also, Drew, you've got a litigation background and history, et cetera, but in a little different world, I believe, but still, it's you have to be prepared to go after people, and defending your patents can be the create a lifetime value for the business. So yeah, I'm very it's a very important thing to have the right kind of dream team surrounding the venture, the business, and the investment.
Excellent.
Sure, since law started
good plug for lawyers.
There you go. And intellectual property in general, whether it's a trademark or a patent, I was always taught it's like a newborn baby that you have. You have to raise it. You have to you got to make sure that it's guarded at all times. And if you if you abandon it, you're losing your claim or your ownership stake. And I hate to say that about, a life, but the analogy is the same. Due diligence with your own label, your own reputation. And that's everything.
Absolutely.
So we know we just got a couple more minutes with you, Kevin. We're very cognizant of your time and very appreciative. Drew, if you just want to ask the hobby question, and then we'll allow Kevin to go back to Microsoft.
Sure, there you go. Kevin, you're busy, but some sort of, enjoyment and social life, personal, hobbies. What do you do in your spare time if you can allow it? Do you have a favorite Netflix show? Do you have a book you're reading?
Thank you. So, well, I first of all, I live in Florida, and I've been there 25 years. I grew up in Ohio. It's got pretty cold there in the winter. Couldn't play golf in the winter. And I spent 10 years in Philadelphia. Not so easy there either. But I've taken the last 10 years. I said I've got to, learn some cool stuff to do in my private time. I love to get out and golf. It gives me a few hours to get away, relax, smoke a cigar, take it easy. I've had boats over the years, so I love to, friends with boats. Actually getting involved in a kind of a jet smarter for the yachting industry. And I'm not sure if jet smarter is the right analogy, because I think they're having some challenges right now. But sort of an Uber for the yachting world, where you can get a beautiful boat for a weekend, for cents on the dollar, because people that invest in boats, they don't use them all the time. So, and dead end boat runs and things like that. But anyway, I in St. Pete, Florida, where I live, it's sunny 345 days a year. I think we get a couple hurricanes every now and then in that neck of the woods, but I stay away from those. And I am. It's funny. We have Netflix. My wife watches a lot of Netflix. She's a few years younger than me, because I think Netflix is my 21-year-old doesn't even have TV in his house. He just has internet, and that blows me away, because I'm still an old school guy. I like watching the Law and Order and CSI and some of those kind of shows. I like to be entertained when I'm if I'm going to watch TV, but I'm also a sports fan too. So I love football and baseball, and in St. Pete we got the greatest hockey team. Lightning is #1 in all of hockey right now. So between sports and golf and boating and hanging out, I only get to do it, a few days a month, but hey, look, it's all, I bring the family into the equation there, and and make it all happen. So you got to round out your life. It's can't be all work. You got to have some time off, and I make sure that between dedicating time for family and kids and my own personal time, I try to round it off and have a fulfilling, rounded off a month when it's all said and done. But there's nothing better than getting out there and getting a couple of birdies on the golf course. So
awesome.
I'm enjoying it.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Kevin. We really appreciate your time. We know you got to get back to it, but we hope to have you again on Pitch the World. We know we'll be seeing you on Pitch Investors Live, amongst all the other things that you're getting involved in. So we do appreciate you coming on for our first episode. Thank you very much.
Hey, guys, you bet. There's two
Thank
of you.
you,
I'm going
Kev.
to give you 2 thumbs up, okay? Thank you.
Awesome.
That works.
Have a great weekend. Look forward
Thank you.
to the
Thanks,
future.
Kevin.
Thanks, guys.
You too.
Thanks.